Di ba tayo Tsinutsubibo nito? Nahingi pa ng dagdag, di naman mahanap yung dati, nagsusoli pa. Hindi tama yung DBM dyan. Parang ang gulo, teka, inintay na yan ng ilang dekada. Ngayon, iipitin na naman ng DBM. Hindi na tama to. You haven't. Not always. Always is not correct. I'm sorry. Tigilan na yung discussion, i-release na. Pera na, please. DBM should be warned that you are actually in violation of the law. January 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang problema, 1 year ang validity ng trust receipt, pero ang release was November, mid-November.
The notice of cash allocation to the CDA was released in October 2022, ma'am.
Pareho pa rin yun.
It was a notice, Madam
It's
Chair.
only an NCA in October. NCA pa lang yun.
One of the requirements, ma'am, for the release of the coconut farmers development plan from the trust receipts is the memorandum of agreement between the Philippine Coconut Authority and the implementing agency, as well as the Bureau of the Treasury trust receipts, Bureau of the Treasury
ang point
certification.
kasi, kayo may kasalan, hindi kayo nagbigay ng pera. NCA, late na nga. Why do you have to revert the funds to the Treasury? I don't get it. Because you have a joint circular. So regardless of the fact that you released it very late in the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. Basta magre-revert siya ng December.
Ma'am, if I may, ma'am, the CDA requested the original request was received by DBM in May 2022. We returned it with a reply document, officially returned it, asking for several supporting documents as stated in the JMC, especially, ma'am, the memorandum of agreement. And the CDA submitted it to us in October. That's why
So from May to October, CDA did not act upon the NCA request.
We returned it, provided that they will have a memorandum of agreement with PCA.
And the memo of agreement with PCA was submitted when?
In October, ma'am.
Yes, is that correct, Chairman Encabo? Kayo rin pala may kasalan, di pala kayo nag-comply ng mga requirements
With due respect to the PCA po, medyo sila po ang...
No, naintindihan ko kasi hindi kompleto yung PCA di
Opo,
ba? Kaya yung parating issue, walang pipirma.
Opo.
Di ba? Yun yung drama doon, na hindi ma-release yung pera. Kasi paulit-ulit na yung tugtugin na yan na walang mga na-appoint, walang pipirma, hindi mabuo yung memo. Tama ba yun?
Yes.
So it's not negligence on your part.
Madam Chair, we submitted early po the draft of the MOA, pero ilang beses po nag-antay kami for review daw nila ng legal and of course yung head.
Kailan na kompleto? Nakompleto na ba noong October o hindi pa kompleto at pending the complete assent of
nang nakompleto namin po bandang first week ng October, we immediately submit it to, or September, late September, last week of September rather, or first week of October.
Okay,
we submit
so it was late na, no? So you did, but in the meantime, hindi kayo nakapag-disburse ng maski ano. Magkano na-release nung November, mid-November, magkano yung pera?
250, Madam Chair.
Yun yung 250 na sinasabi mo.
Apo.
Sa 250, more than half na disburse naman.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Pero by December, may natira pa.
Yes, Madam
Tama
Chair.
ba? Kasi naguguluhan ako sa listahan.
Around 118, Madam Chair.
So yung 118, 560 reverted kasi siya pa yung balance nung December.
Yes, Madam
So
Chair.
hinila na ng DBM. So, pinagtatakahan ko kasi anuman yung joint circular, hindi pwedeng lumabag sa pagkaintindi namin ng trust fund. Nung pagkaintindi namin, bakit na-revert?
Ma'am, the general...
Kasi management and custodianship of trust fund, di ba? Yan yung section 12. Depository lang ang treasury, pero nananatili pa rin COCO levy, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. The trust fund itself is being managed by the Bureau of the Treasury, and
Kaya
the
nga.
cash allocations, ma'am, that that was released to the agencies are being reverted every
Okay.
year, pero po bumabalik ulit siya sa BTR.
So, yung 118 na revert, what is the nature of that? What's the status na ngayon?
Balik po siya sa Bureau of the
No, I
Treasury.
understand. Pero, sino magmamanage niyan? Treasury.
Yes, ma'am.
Tapos, paano nila kukunin? Magre-request sila for a new NCA.
Yes, ma'am.
Ginawa ba ninyo yon at kailan?
Yes, we did propose to the Finance Management Committee of the CFIDP, ma'am, but still subject for approval of the said committee.
So you haven't actually requested a new NCA?
We requested for an additional budget, but the
No, that's
initial
not
step.
additional budget. You're
Yeah.
requesting for the return of
Yes.
the amount reverted.
Yes, I stand corrected, Madam
So did you request
Chair.
for the new NCA or not?
May I, Madam Chair? Kasi the discussion when the program was implemented, those that are reverted to the Treasury, hindi na daw pwede i-request for NCA. So ang
Bakit?
nangyari, that
Is
was
that correct?
ang nangyari,
You
Madam
cannot
Chair.
request for a new NCA? I'm sorry. Sorry, can we just get the DBM to answer?
Ma'am, it's based on the JMC, the Joint Memorandum Circular, any unutilized funds coming from the trust fund of the agencies will automatically be reverted to the National Treasury. However, every year naman po, meron naman pong 250 million na pinoprovide
No, pero
for
yung
the implementing
sinasabi mo,
agencies.
yung hindi nagastos na 118, forfeited na forever,
It's
aasa na lang sila sa panibagong 250. Ganun ba yun?
for the cash requirements, ma'am, it will really revert to the National Treasury because it's a trust receipts in nature.
Hindi tama yung DVM dyan. Ang alam ko, ang trust receipt, talagang sinusoli yan sa dating agency. Hindi yan pwedeng hawakan ng treasury at aasahan na lamang yung new appropriations for the following year. Wala naman yatang ganun.
Ma'am, sa Bureau of the Treasury, ma'am, and the DBM and the COA, it's indicated in the Joint Memorandum Circular na any unutilized funds nga po will revert to the National Treasury.
Yes, I think DBM should be warned that you are actually in violation of the law. It's very, very clear. But 2022, 5% of 5 billion, 250 million. So naibalik yung 118. Tapos, yung year 2, 5% na naman, 250 na naman. Year 3, 2024, 6 billion na yan. So magiging 300 yung CDA. And so on. Ang point ko, hindi masusunod ang batas kapag hindi sinoli sa kanila kasi 5% yung kanila eh. No matter what your joint circular is, it cannot be in violation of the law.
The special allotment release order for the coconut farmers industry is being released by the DBM to the Bureau of the Treasury. The cash requirements po, yun po yung nagiging trust fund. Trust receipts po siya.
Hindi tama yun. How did you actually generate so much increase
Ma'am, Madam Chair.
before you ask for more?
Yes, Madam Chair, it goes to the capital outlay, the regional offices. We have 7 regional offices that will be covered by it, and the locally funded projects that focus on the agri sector and the micro and small consumers, marketing producers, logistics cooperatives, Madam Chair.
No, on a per program basis, the biggest increase, almost 300%, goes to support to operations. Anong klaseng support to operations yan?
The support to operation, ma'am, is the
283% ang increase.
the ICT.
Ipaliwanag na lang po.
Yes, ma'am. The increase of that, ma'am, goes to the ICT requirements po.
19 million lang yan eh.
Madam Chair, I'd like to request our
Bakit yung
finance.
19 million naging 110 million? This is an entirely different item. The item for ICT is only 19 million.
Madam Chair, if may I, the increase in the support to operation of 283%. In the 2023 GA, it's 28.7 million. In 2024, it's 110 million. It's basically because of the office productivity requirement that was approved by DBM in our Tier 2 proposal, ICT requirements, MOO is 99.17.
I'm sorry, what's
The nine-
office productivity? What does that
Yes.
mean?
Office productivities, Madam Chair, that includes the
Anong
ICT
bibilin
requirements.
dyan?
ICT requirements po, Madam Chair,
Bakit nagdo-double entry? Bakit may 19 million para sa IT, tapos meron na namang IT sa support?
Sir,
to
19 million, Madam Chair, the 19 million is for the capital outlay, and
No.
the
Nasa IT.
59 million is for the MOE. So it's a total of 78 million. That was the proposal from our MITI program as approved by the ICT.
Bakit may MOE? Ang sinasabi mo, itong support to operation is MOE.
No, the support to operation is composed of MOE and capital outlay. The MOE is 59.17 million. The Tier 2 approved by DBM with our MITI requirement or ICT requirement, and the 19.25 is for the capital outlay. So ang total po nun, Madam Chair, is 78.42 million.
Isang galing tong 110. 110 yung support to operations niya.
Yeah, that's the tier 1, the tier 1 po. The tier 1, yung support to operation po, Madam Chair, we have a tier 1 of 28 million. So that's for the regular operation of the ICT requirement of the whole CDA.
You're talking about 2023. Under discussion is fiscal year 2024.
Yes, Madam Chair, the 28 is in 2023. There is an increase, naging 110 po siya because from the 23 na tier 1, meron pong na-approve na 78.42 in the tier 2, which is composed of MOE 59.17 and the capital outlay of 19.25. So umabot po siya ng 110, Madam Chair. 28, the tier 1 is 28, but the tier 2...
28 was this year. We're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about next year. Can we just move forward to next year?
Yes, ma'am. Next year po is 78 million po yung support to operation increase in our support to operation. So 78 million po yung increase ng next
It's
year.
increase, but the total is 110. As
Yes.
far as I'm concerned, the amount is 110.
110 po, ma'am.
Explain to me and justify the 110.
The 100
Anong sakop nun? Ang pinaliwanag mo, capital expenditure. Ito, MOE. Magkaiba yung dalawa, wag mo palo. Kaya hindi mo sinabi yung financial assistance for 2 locally funded projects.
The financial assistance for two
Sakop,
local
pero
fund. Hindi, ma'am. Separate po siya, ma'am.
Okay. Kasi halo-halo sa MOE ninyo. Medyo magulo kasi siya. Yeah, you'll have to justify that with the DBM. You're already getting a very, very large increase unlike almost any other agency. You have a 80 to 90% increase overall. So, laki nun.
Ma'am, we have two in Zamboanga, namely in Siocon and the Pitan City po.
O, parehong Zamboanga. So, only in Zamboanga.
Yes, ma'am,
So-
for the year 2023, ma'am.
Yes, I mean, you're just reciting what's
Yeah.
actually in the law. Can you explain both the processing plants? Because there's a very large discrepancy as far as the PCA is concerned. There are 8,819 active and 1,942 inactive cocoa farmers organizations. Pero yung sa inyo, na i-organize lamang 1,917. So we recognize Senator Robin Padilla. Pero in the meantime, pakipaliwanag, anong mangyayari dun sa mga hindi sinama ng mga cocoa farmers? Ang laki kasi ng agwat eh. Nasa 8,800 plus 1,942. Yung sa listahan lang ninyo, nasa 1,917. Ba't ang laki ng agwat?
Ma'am, for this year, the CDA is given 250 million for the CFIDP program. The 200 million is intended for 2 processing plants that will be established and or provided to the
Ayan na yung, yan na
Siocon.
yung dalawang sambo.
Yes, ma'am.
O tapos yung 50,
The other component is will go to the different trainings and handholding programs, seminars for the coconut farmers cooperatives, while the 25 million po will serve as their seed capital for their management operations and administrative for the processing plant.
Yeah, ang problema ko kasi, apakabagal ng plano ninyo. You're going to roll out in 5 years and you're only rolling out less than 2,000 cocoa farmers organizations. When in fact, there's closer to 9 to 12,000 cocoa farmers associations. Ba't ang bagal?
Ma'am, based on our accomplishments, as of August 2023, we were able to touch base with 3,548 coconut farmers. And
No, I'm not talking about the farmers. Can we just deal with the organizations? Kasi co-op naman kayo hindi naman kayo individual farmers dapat.
yes, as of 2022 last year, ma'am, we were able to come up with 831 coconut farmers organized into cooperatives.
Kaya nga, pero ang sinasabi ko, the whole universe of coconut farmers is almost 12,000 organizations. Yung nasa lista ninyo, 5 years ang bagal, wala pang 2,000. Paano yung 10,000, di sila kasali?
We continue to
Pero ba't ang bagal? At wala sa listahan ninyo at all Halos 10,000 o 11,000 o 12,000 ang kanilang cocoa farmers. Ang layo sa inyo, 1,900 lang kayo. Kawawa naman yung iba, mas marami pang hindi kasama kesa kasama. Ilan ba talaga yung farmers? Tapos, ilan ang sasakupin nitong 1,917 ninyo? Para alam natin yung porsyento. Kasi parang ang bagal-bagal naman, 5 taon. Wala pa sa 20%.
one of the top performing agencies in the CFID was CDA. But nonetheless, we were able to achieve 53% on our targets compared to other agencies. For year 2 po, this year, our target po, ma'am, is 1,000.
Teka. If your performance has been so exemplary, di ba 2022, nag-revert kayo ng 118.560 million to the Treasury under the Cocoa Farmer and Industry Trust Fund because the use of the fund. Ano ba nangyari dyan?
Madam
Ba't kayo nagsoli? Ibig sabihin, hindi ninyo nagastos, hindi ninyo nagampanan yung papel ninyo. Hindi ko maintindihan ba't nag-revert?
Madam Chair, na-download po yung pera sa amin po. Middle of November na po, Madam Chair. So we only have 1.5 month to implement this huge task provided to us by the CFIDP program. So we immediately consulted PCA and fast-track everything the best that we can para po mapagsilbihan ng ating mga coconut farmers
So
cooperatives.
nagsoli kayo ng pera sa Treasury.
Opo.
Gastusin, di re-revert talaga. Ano ba talaga nangyari riyan? Ang hirap talaga, naghahanap ng pera May hingi pa ng dagdag, di naman mahanap yung dati, nagsusoli pa.
Yeah.
Yes, did you ask for an NCA?
Madam Chair, for the 2022, it was automatically reverted to the National Treasury, the 118
We've
million.
already gone over
For
that.
the 2024, yes, because the project is up to 5 years. So we also asked for the 2023, 250 million na NCA po.
Parang ang gulo. Teka, year by year. Simulan natin. Kailan ba? 2021? Ano nangyari? Pwede ba ikwento ninyo ng maayos? Sige, kailan yung release ng 2021, if any?
Wala po sa 2021.
Yung pala ba't may banggit kanina? Sabi ng DBM, yung circular 2021.
Sorry, ma'am.
Wala naman rinilis ni isang kusing ng 2021. Marawi naman, para sakit ng ulo na ulit. Okay, 2018 to 2023, 284.849 million pesos disbursed to Marawi-based co-ops. Bakit lahat ng co-op na recipient hindi pa nakakapag-liquidate ng anuman? Totoo ba yung mga co-op na to? Or drawing lang?
Madam Chair, I'll give the floor to our project manager, Director Elias.
Bakit walang maibigay na liquidation at saka ebidensya na tumanggap ng mga makinarya itong Marawi Rehab Program? Yes, Director Elias, please.
Yes. Magandang hapon po, ma'am.
Sana.
For Marawi, we were able to extend to 169 cooperatives under the Marawi Rehabilitation through Cooperativism Project and the MPN, Mindanao Peace and Normalization Project. And out of the 169 cooperatives, 103 were able to fully liquidate the assistance given to them. And
You're saying how much? Magkano? Magkano yung na-liquidate? Kasi sa lista ko wala pang naliliquidate eh.
about 56-something million, ma'am.
Pero ang napakaliit nun, kung ihahambing sa na-release na pera, 284,849 million. Ang laki ng pera, wala pa sa 20% ba yan? Ang sinasabi ninyo, 50?
Yung pera,
Ilan ang
ma'am.
liquidated? Kasi sa report, walang na-liquidate.
Hindi, ma'am. Yung 56 million livelihood assistance to cooperatives, fully liquidated yan.
CDA, do you have something in writing? Kasi 50-something will not wash in a budget hearing po. Ilan bang liquidated? Kasi ang record dito, unliquidated, napakalaking halaga.
64,362,860.85, ma'am.
Yes, precisely my point that 64 million is a small fraction of the total amount disbursed to 284 million plus.
I'm speaking of the livelihood assistance. Hindi nakasama doon, ma'am, yung mga administrative cost na inclusive doon, kasama doon sa dinownload na
Siguro
pera.
hindi naman administrative cost itong 75%. Laki nito eh. 284 ang sinasabi niyong liquidated. Can I just have an update on the Marawi with figures, please? And the evidence that these co-ops in fact exist? There's zero reports on these amounts. Even the 64 million you're claiming to have been disbursed are not recorded. So the worry is these are ghost co-ops, that the farmers never received any equipment. There's nothing here. I'm sorry. This derives from your office.
The audit report of the Commission on Audit dated 2021, if I'm not mistaken, ma'am.
Hindi. June 2023 po to. Walang liquidated.
I
Ang
think,
disbursed 284.
Madam Chair, siguro hindi po updated yung data na provided kasi
Palagay ko, Chairman Encabo, galing pala ito sa CDE, hindi pala COA. Mag-usap kaya kayo ng Region 10. Galing pala sa inyo to, hindi ko naman mahuhula to eh.